this one is similar to what Hailee brought up in her discussion about, but the flop shot in this case, or even a chip, will throw that in there too, from a bare lie. This is a really tough shot for a lot of people because, number one, they don't know how to use the bounce of the club properly. So what often ends up happening is they put it way back in their stance and they chop down at it, and that leading edge of the club goes in, digs about a foot behind the ball, or it comes up because they're pulling up at the last minute and they're thinning that shot across the green. You've got to use the bounce. You've got to use a club that has less bounce. If you're on a really, really tight lie, you don't want to be using a club that's got a lot of bounce on it because it's going to hit and ricochet off. That's not what it's designed for. So you want to use something that has very low bounce, sometimes a gap wedge. It might be a different wedge for you, but you want to do something like that, and you don't want to play it so far back in that you actually feel like you're chopping down. What are your thoughts? Agree, disagree?
Agree. That's when Alan Miller would have gone in the tour trailer and ground all the bounce off of the wedge. And I'm like, what are you doing? And all the sparks of the metal are flying all over the place.
That's what he's doing. He's removing some of the bounce of it.
Yeah.
Nowadays you don't have to do that the same way because there's so many options out there with clubs. And if you're playing, a golf course that has a lot of tight area in front, like some courses, you can putt from 30 feet off the green. They're so mown so tight there, as you come up and if you find yourself and you've hit a shot that's come up short and maybe you don't feel comfortable because there's a lot of undulation, you don't feel comfortable putting and you want to hit that chip shot or a little pitch shot, you need to be using club with very low bounce. And again, you want to play the ball probably in the middle, maybe even just slightly forward of center, and you want to let the bounce work for you, meaning that you want something with low bounce and you want to just hit that and what will happen is you have a little bit of descending blow, but not so much that or descending into the ball, but you don't want to have so much, like I said, that you're hitting the leading edge into the ground, and the bounce will take care of itself. But it's a very difficult shot. Again, one nobody ever practices. I never see anybody at the range. I'm probably the only one I've ever seen at the range that'll actually go and work on that. I never see anybody do it. Agree? All right.
This one to practice though.
It is. Oh yeah. This is what I'm saying. I wish more courses were set up. We sort of have the typical, you got your putt shots, a little bit of chipping off, and it's the same shots all the time that people practice. And then they get out in the golf course and they get a shot they've never been faced with that they can work on and that's why I said I think it would be great to have more short course and more short practice facilities that allow you to practice some of these shots that you may be faced with, because you're not always going to get these perfect little shots that you get to practice with right now.